Hello, I'm the MLP Reviewer 66, and today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Equestria Girls. Now, even though most of you probably already know the plot of the story, considering that almost everyone in the Brony fandom, even if they haven't seen it yet, probably already know the plot, I'll go ahead and explain it for a couple of you that don't already know. Now, the plot of this story is pretty straightforward. Twilight and her friends go to the Crystal Empire, her crown is then stolen and been sent through a portal into another world in a magic mirror. It has been stolen by, I don't think this is too big of a spoiler, basically a old apprentice of Celestia who is very skilled and powerful and all that, and probably knows more about the elements of harmony than even Twilight does. That being said, the story is basically, from that point on, a high school story. And that's right, we all know this was coming, high school. Well, to be fair, it is more entertaining than what you would normally get in a high school movie, but I'll save that for a little bit later. The entire rest of the story is basically the high school setting and Twilight trying to win this basically class crown thing at the dance to be able to get her crown back. And once again, this is one of the more sillier plots I've seen, but compared to other high school movies, yeah, I give it a pass. Now that I've given you the brief plot summary of the show, let me get into the actual meat of this story, which is, of course, all the technical aspects that are going on in this story. So, first we'll start with Twilight Sparkle having wings. Now, in this one, it actually did what I wanted it to do. It showed Twilight with her new wings and her struggling to control them. I hope that actually goes more into detail in the next series. Now, I know at the season finale how they had her flying through the air and saying everything's going to be just fine, but personally I think that's more symbolistic than anything, just saying, and I know a lot of people have come up with this theory that it's basically, hey, she was just saying to the audience, guys, even though there is Twilight Alicorn now, everything's going to be fine. Don't worry, which is kind of bothersome to me personally because whenever anyone says everything's going to be just fine or how could it possibly get worse or either of those things, it usually ends up something bad happening. But we'll see what happens in the next series. I'm still holding out hope that it'll be the best series ever, especially from what we've been seeing in the little leaks of what is going on, but that's getting off topic. Anyway, back to topic. I like all the little jokes that Pinkie Pie got in there as well, where Luna is just like talking about the mirror and saying, oh, this is important, it's a portal to another realm, and Pinkie Pie is just like, ooh, sparkly, shiny, and then Luna's just like, no shiny for you, and just like use her magic to push her away. I thought that was hilarious. Also, the fact that, I'm sorry, this is just kind of the most amazing Pinkie Pie moment I've seen in any of the seasons so far. And this is why I think she is like Madame Discord incarnate. Like somehow she's like the long lost relative of Discord or something. Or maybe like the future Mrs. Discord. Hey, I can fanfic all I want. Is because of one reason. In both the human world and the pony world, when Twilight was trying to explain what happened to her friends, Pinkie Pie, I won't spoil it for anyone that hasn't really seen it yet, but there's this moment where she's just like, where Twilight is trying to explain to her friends what is going on, and she's like, no one's gonna believe me when I tell them this. And then Pinkie Pie is just like explaining it to the entire group, word for word, exactly what is going on. And I'm just like, Pinkie Pie, just yes, you are best pony. But also one thing, as long as we're talking about the whole Pinkie Pie and that mirror thing before, I'm wondering something. That mirror in Canterlot, or not in Canterlot, in the Crystal Empire, I get why that is there, because in a well-guarded castle and everything, you would understand why this is here. But in the human world, is just a statue in the middle of a schoolyard. What happens if some random student just leans up against the statue thinking it's a solid statue and falls into Ponyville? Like, just falls into, like, or I mean Equestria. It's just like, ah, talking horses! You know, it's like, why are you all staring at me like that? Ah, where are my hands? I have hooves! Seriously, does no one else think of this stuff? Now, when they actually go to the human world, I will say I do like how Twilight was like, what in the world is going on? Where are my hooves? Where is my horn? And I'm just like, I'm not even going to touch that joke with the 10-foot pole. But in any case, you get my point. It's a bit of a different types of, okay, she was a pony, now she's a human. Yeah, there's gonna be some problems. I like how they didn't just, like, have her go to the human world and be like, whatever. She was just like, what in the world is going on? The one thing I didn't get is when she went back to Ponyville, they were all wondering, hey, what is hands? And Spike has hands! I know people have brought this up before, but seriously, Spike has hands. They know what bloody hands are. But then again, maybe those are considered just more like, you know, talons or claws or something like that. But still, they still have, like, he can still grab stuff. He's hands. So, yeah. Also, Spike as a dog was probably one of the cutest things in this movie. I was just like, oh, the only thing cuter than that maybe is the CMC as human figure, is like a human character, because that is bloody cute. You see like little ponified people, like ponies, and then like the humanoid version of the CMC. That was adorable. But Spike as a dog comes very close. However, I will say this, I much prefer Spike as, like, maybe he could have got like an actual reptile feature, like an iguana, or maybe like, it would have been funny if he like just turned into a Komodo dragon and it was just like, well, this is actually cooler than I was before. But it's little things like that I wish they would have gone ahead with. As for all the background characters, they look pretty good with all their pony to human designs, and the main six even look good with their human to pony designs. But you could actually play a game just like, see how many background characters you can find. Like, oh, there's Granny Smith as a lunchroom lady. Ooh, there's Big Mac. There's the CMC. You have the whole 9 yards of that. And as for the music is okay. Not good, not bad. It's certainly not to the level of the TV show, but it's not so bad that I would consider it just horrible. It's above what you would normally see in regular kids' TV shows or movies, but it's below what I expect from the TV show. And that's not a good thing when you have a movie that you expect to be better in some ways, at least for the music. But no, it's not as good as the music from the TV show, in my opinion, of course. And now it's time to talk about the ending. Now, this ending has become sort of infamous in the brony community, but simply because of one particular detail. And this will contain spoilers, so for anyone that doesn't want to hear spoilers, skip ahead or just clip off of the video now. Basically, the evil villain gets Twilight's crown, which has enough power and apparently to turn her into an evil demon creature. And then Twilight Sparkle, using the power of friendship, defeats her without the elements of harmony. Okay, this is wrong for a couple of reasons. One, we have been shown many times before the elements of harmony cannot work without the other elements of harmony. Two, the fact that the main villain of this story was able to get the crown and then use its power by herself without any other elements to be able to become this evil demon creature. That was problem 2. However, I have come up with sort of my own theory of why this is. A couple of different, actually. Theory 1 is, of course, the power of the elements of harmony differ from dimension to dimension. This could be why, in this dimension, it only takes the one element of harmony to be able to give the evil one power to become a demon and to transfer our little 2 servants, Snips and Snails, into demons, and why Twilight was able to use that power along with the power of her friends without the other elements to defeat the main evil. My other theory, which is much more likely, is the main element of harmony, the element of friendship, which is the embodiment of all of the other elements together, is perhaps more powerful than we originally thought. Think about this. Perhaps, since Twilight is now an alicorn, and since she now has more of a power, at least we could assume, even though she doesn't have her horn or her wings when she's a normal human, perhaps she still retained that essence of alicornness, even though she couldn't use her magic. When she was that near to her, base element of harmony without the other elements with it, she could still use its power. And since we've already seen that Luna and Celestia could use 3 of the elements of harmony both at the same time, and the other ponies obviously can't do that, they can only use 1 element at a time, maybe Twilight was able to unlock something in that particular element of harmony, the element of friendship, with her own element that would be more powerful than any of the other elements of harmony, and perhaps even more powerful than any of the power that Celeste and Luna used, using all 6 together previously. And maybe that'll show up in the next season. Who knows, that the main element of harmony, the tiara instead of the crown instead of the necklaces, are actually more powerful. A little theory, I suppose. Alright, I'd love to hear what you guys think about all this. I'm the MLP Reviewer 66. Thank you, and good night.